Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Owen with Music Off the Record for you. We're going to be talking about one of the pieces on the next Northwest Sinfonietta concert. This one, the Samuel Barber Capricorn Concerto. So there's Barber. And this all starts in 1943. If you watch the little video about the bio of Barber, he purchased a house with fellow composer Menotti in New York. It's the Mount Kisco area. The pictures here, we've got a postcard of what Mount Kisco looked like at the time. Just for reference, the green star on the little map there is Mount Kisco, and the red dot just below that is Manhattan, so you can kind of get an idea of where that is. So the reason they call this house Capricorn, they titled the house that, is they felt like it allowed a lot of natural lighting, and even in winter months, and for that reason they felt like Capricorn was a good name for the house. The same year, as we've mentioned before, he was drafted into the military. So there's Uncle Sam wanting Samuel Barber. Well, he continues to compose during that time. After about a year in the military, he gets a post where he has some time allowed for him to compose. And he writes a few things, some things kind of for the military, but this one is more personal for him, and we really kind of see some nostalgia for home for a time when he's not occupied in the military in this Capricorn Concerto, and of course he titles it after his home. So we'll see if we can hear some of that nostalgia in the first movement. You can listen for that. So sometimes Barber gets called neo-romantic, but actually this piece could be called neoclassical, meaning he's looking at old forms and old things like the concerto, which has been around since Bach's time, for the basis of this Capricorn Concerto. So it's based on this old concerto form. There's three movements. The outer movements, the first and last, are going to be fast, and the middle one's going to be slower. And he actually does it very similar to one of the Bach Brandenburg concertos, if you're familiar with those, actually the third one. Has the same soloists as the Bach. It has trumpet, oboe, and flute soloists with string orchestra. So to go ahead and move into it, with our first movement, we have kind of a dark and ominous sound. And for Barber, who is known for a real lyricism, this one starts out almost a little Stravinsky-esque. It has some angular shifts and some dissonance that we don't always get in Samuel Barber. Let's listen to a little bit of it. Hear that opening. Now, if you've noticed, so far we've only heard strings, and this again is like the Bach concerto, where it would start off with the strings playing and then the solo entrance would come a little bit later. When it does, those soloists enter with a little bit of a relief from the aggression of that string part. So we'll hear them enter in a little bit here, a little more lyrically. So here the soloists enter. You still hear that mournful quality, maybe a little bit of that nostalgia for home, but certainly a contrast with our aggressive strings. The flute will eventually add to the oboe. And then our trumpet will enter, the third. There it is. Now it's like the influence of our soloists are going to mellow out our strings. When they come back in, they're going to be a little calmed down from before. So some things to listen for as you come to a concert and hear that first movement. Second movement, by contrast, actually starts with our soloists. It's not as slow as we expect. If he's really basing it on those old concertos, it moves along at a fairly brisk tempo still. It also tends to be a little bit brighter, more consonant than the beginning of that first movement. So you hear kind of a major sound, nice and bright. Notice our strings are only present as pizzicato. So far they're only plucked. Very minimal. So right there, when the soloists finally kind of finish their section and the strings come in, you notice this sudden abrupt stop of the soloist and suddenly very legato, sustained strings. So there's this abrupt difference, and something just to make you think about in the concert. I don't have an answer as to the question why. Why does he have this abrupt shift? But something to think about. Is there something particular he's trying to express? He didn't give us anything, so we can't say for sure, but something worth thinking about, I think. Our last movement is the most consonant, quite major, bright trumpet opening, and you'll hear this nice conversation going back and forth between strings and our soloists. So quite exuberant, joyful last movement. So we'll let you come to a concert and enjoy that for yourself. We'll see you there.